Children, let us continue with the applications of total internal reflection. I have sent you some links regarding the applications of total internal reflection. See all these links and see that your concepts are made clear. Now, let me start with the first one, that is brilliance of diamond. We know that a diamond always shines. Why is that a diamond always shines? It glitters always. The diamond is cut such that it has got a number of faces. So when light enters, which means that refraction is taking place, and when this refracted light enters any of the face, it always enters at an angle greater than the critical angle, so it gets totally reflected back into the diamond itself. And so multiple reflections takes place within the diamond. The critical angle for diamond is around 24.4 degree and the refractive index of the diamond is around 2.4. So it is cut in such a way that it has many number of faces. So when light is entering, it gets refracted, and when it enters this face, it is always greater than the critical angle, so it gets reflected back. Similarly, when this reflected light is falling on any other face, it is incident at an angle greater than the critical angle, and this process gets repeated, or multiple reflection takes place within it, and you can see that the diamond always glitters. And the two conditions over here are light travels from denser to rarer. So this will be the denser, rarer interface, and angle of incidence will be greater than the critical angle. If these two conditions are satisfied, then total internal reflection takes place. Next will be the total reflecting prisms. Total reflecting prisms. These are right-angled isosceles prisms, and which is used to turn through either incident light either through 90 or through 180. There will be an inversion in the image, but the size of the image will not be changed. That is what is called as total reflecting prism. It is a right-angled isosceles prism. Now normally this is used in periscopes and these are used in submarines normally. Just see here, this is one total reflecting prism. Let me name it as ABC. A ray of light, as we know, when I have an object placed over here, I'll name it as AB. A ray of light from A, it is normal to the surface, so it has to get refracted. So it goes straight without any deviation. And when it is incident at an angle greater than the critical angle, the critical angle for such prism is around 42 degree. So this angle is actually 45 degree, which is greater than 42. So it has to get totally reflected. So it has to pass this way. And since this light is normal to the surface, refraction takes place and it goes straight without any deviation. I have drawn a single ray from A. In a similar way, when I draw from B, this is actually A. So when I draw from B, the same thing happens and it gets reflected. So you can see that the image is inverted, AB, and this is A dash, B dash. The image is inverted, but the size is not varied. Here, the reflected light is turned through 90. Now let us see another figure where the reflected light is turned through 180. This is again a totally reflecting prism. So here, again for the same reason, a ray of light. I have an object over here. I'll mark it as AB. A ray of light from A, normal to the surface. It goes straight without any deviation. And here it is incident at an angle. This is the denser, rarer interface. So it gets totally reflected and it goes like this. So here it is deviated through 90. Once again it is incident on the denser, rarer interface. And so the light gets reflected because the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. So it has to come back. And then since it is normal to the surface, it goes straight without any deviation. Let me mark it as A dash. Now in a similar way, another ray of light from B. In a similar way it goes, it gets totally reflected and it is also turned through 90 plus 90, that is 180, and you see that the image is inverted. We can have one more prism where it is turned through 90 and let me draw the figure. Here again it is turned through 90. That is a ray of light. Let me consider this to be the object. A ray of light from A. Again it is getting refracted. So when it gets refracted, it passes this way like this. And since it is incident at an angle greater than the critical angle, it gets totally reflected and it comes out, gets refracted. Similarly, another ray of light, it is incident, it is getting refracted, then over here it is totally reflected and it gets refracted outside. Here the incident is turned through 90 degree over here and the image is inverted. So these are the total reflecting prisms. Now we have one more application which is called as the mirage formation. Mirage, as you all know, is an optical illusion normally seen in hot places, for example deserts. In deserts, suppose if you are going along in hot summer days, you see that as though there is water in front of you, and if there is any object around you, the reflection of that object you will be able to see. But actually it is an illusion because as you go near it, it is just an open air without water. This is called as an optical illusion, and this optical illusion is also due to total internal reflection. Now in hot summer days, you can see that the air above the earth is very hot and it is less dense. As you go higher and higher, the density goes on increasing. Suppose these are the different layers of air. So the density goes on increasing with height. Suppose you have an object over here, for example, a tree is over here. We have a tree over here. These are the different layers of atmosphere. Here it is less dense. As you go higher and higher, density goes on increasing. So light from this object, that is tree, it is actually coming from denser to rarer. When it comes from denser to rarer, actually it has to bend away from the normal. So each time what happens, it is from denser to rarer and it will be bending away from the normal. At one particular angle of incidence, that is if it is greater than the critical angle, what happens? This light gets reflected back. It gets reflected back. And when this reflected light is extended, it appears to come from here, which is nothing but the inverted image of this tree. So suppose if you are an observer watching this, you are standing on the surface of the earth and watching it, you see the inverted image of this tree. So this is again an optical illusion. Now next is you have what is called as optical fibers. Optical fibers, it consists of thousands of strands. Each strand is very small, it is around 10 power minus 4 centimeter. The strand is made up of either glass or silica, something like that. Now, if you take a single strand made of glass, now this has another coating of lower refractive index. It is around 1.48. If the refractive index of glass is around 1.5, the refractive index of this coating is around 1.48. So for this glass, it is 1.5 is a refractive index. When a ray of light enters, it has to get refracted, so it enters, and then it is entering at the denser, rarer medium. So what happens if this angle exceeds the critical angle? It gets reflected. So this continues and multiple reflection takes place. This is what happens in optical fibers, and finally this reflected, that is the optical signals, are later on converted into electrical signals.